Ready, set, go. What's up?
What's happening?
Oh, man, I don't know. This is number one.
First one, huh?
First podcast, absolutely, from the throne room.
I feel kind of honored to be the number one in the spot for the number two.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I couldn't think of anybody else I'd rather talk to for the first one. God knows you've got as many stories as I do. We should probably start with some introductions, I suppose. I'm the fucking pilot, also known as Princess, and you can call me Dean. I'll answer to all of it. And you are Junior.
Yeah, I'm Junior, also known as David, occasionally known as Asshole. Just depends on the situation.
Half of the time, anyway. So we're here because you like to jump out of airplanes and throw yourself off this shit and do crazy stuff.
Every chance I get.
Absolutely. And for how long now? Well, let's just start from the beginning. How did you get started in anything extreme, really?
I think that's my dad's fault, probably.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, dad was a crazy guy. Always doing interesting, fun, crazy things. Whether it was trying to hop snowmobiles over top of roads in Vermont, to skiing down things he probably shouldn't have been skiing down, and jumping off of whatever we could jump off of. So I mean, I guess it's kind of in the blood a little bit. But
was he jumping off of? What do you mean, like jumping off of
cliffs into water, stuff like that?
Oh, nice.
Rooftops in the snow.
Nice. Well, how'd you get started into anything involving a parachute?
That's actually an interesting one. I way back when, long time ago. I was just out of high school. Decided I wanted to start flying. So flying has always interested me, and I started working on my private pilot. And my CFI at the time and I decided we were going to see how many local airports we could hit in 1 hour. So how many touch and goes? We were going to go from airport to airport to airport to airport. And we get into this one airport. It was the last one that was going to be inside that hour, and it happened to be a drop zone, a skydiving center.
Oh, wow.
So we get out, and we walk into the place, and it was scary. To say the least, it was scary.
Scary as in like a sketchy drop zone?
It seemed sketchy.
Okay, well,
I'd never seen a drop zone before.
Yeah, they all seem kind of sketchy.
I mean, here I am. I'm around 19 years old, flying, stop at an airport, and they jump out of it. And there was nobody jumping that day. We went in, we walked around, and it was old wood paneling on the inside of the place. It was about a single wide trailer, very similar to what you would think of Fandango.
Oh,
right?
Nice.
Minus the crazy pilot with the smoking the joint on the way up to altitude.
Nice.
But went there, didn't think anything of it. Was in college. Some friends said, "Hey, we're thinking about going skydiving." I'm like, sure, count me in. Let's check it out. So we go out, and lo and behold, it was the same fucking place.
Oh, nice. Now, what drop zone was this?
Skydive Tecumseh.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it was one of the oldest drop zones in the U.S. They had their 50-year anniversary 5 or 6 years ago now.
Oh, cool.
So they've been around for a long time, and at the time they were one of the, like I said, one of the oldest. So.
What is it? That old T-shirt back when skydiving was dangerous and sex was safe?
Yeah, sex was safe, skydiving was dangerous. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Fair enough. So you went with a bunch of buddies to make your very first jump.
Went with a bunch of buddies. They didn't really offer tandems, so it was a static line course. Out in the sun, doing PLFs in mechanics outfits for 30 minutes by the owner, who was almost like a drill sergeant. PLF to the left, now.
Oh, God.
All right, get up. All right, PLF to the right, now. So we're lined up, 5 across, 5 deep, in this little shack and outside doing PLFs and mechanics outfits. And finish the course, hop in an airplane, go up to altitude. I'm number 2 to get out. My buddy's number 1. And out he goes. Canopy opens, and all of a sudden we look up, and I see my instructor, jump master at the time, looking up. I'm like, why is he looking up?
You're right.
So apparently we were just before a storm coming in, and he got some updraft. So he gets out under his main after static line, and he literally got an updraft and was above us.
Oh, wow.
So he lands about 2.5 miles away from the airport. Needless to say, we come down in the airplane. We weren't going to jump that day. Hopes, dreams, shot, crying like a little baby, all that good stuff. And just played the game that skydivers play for so long. So came out the next weekend, bad weather. Came out the next weekend, bad weather. And it was coming up on my dad's 55th birthday. So figured, why not? So I bought him the first jump course for his 55th birthday. So he comes out, goes through the course.
Nice.
Right? We get in the airplane, take off. We're up at altitude.
This is you and your dad.
Me and my dad now.
All right.
Right? Maybe 3 weeks down the road. And lo and behold, we land with the airplane. Bad weather.
Fuck.
So next weekend, he was going home to see some family in New York, him and my mom. And I could think about the fact that he's heavier than me. He's going to get out first. I can't let him be the first to do this. So while he was away, I snuck out to the drop zone and made my first jump.
Nice.
Comes back the following week. We show up to the drop zone, and they ask us, like, oh, so, both you guys first time? I'm like, nope, it's my second. He just looked at me and gave me those eyes.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
That was the beginning.
Awesome. Very, very cool. That's not too many people that get out and actually jump with their dad first. I went out and did my my first one as well, and just like you, I think it was 3 or even 4 weeks that I fought weather to be able to make that first jump. And oh man, by the time week 4 rolled around, I didn't even care if it killed me. I just needed to get that damn jump in. And it was just for me to cross that off the list. That was all it was going to be. And then, of course, I landed and walked into the hangar and said, here's my credit card, charge it till it says declined.
Well, yeah, I wasn't so fortunate. I was a college student. And luckily, static lines were cheap, so I would work hard, make enough money to make a couple static line jumps. They were $45 at the time.
Oh, Jesus.
So work for the week, come out, make a jump, maybe 2. At that point, it was breaking the bank, in order to skydive, but it was so much fun.
Sure. Well, that seems to be how a lot of the jumpers get started. It's such an expensive sport to start out with that you end up having to, basically hawk an arm or a leg to be able to get out there and jump.
Oh, for sure. And now it's even more so because AFF's around and it's kind of taken over the game, and AFF is probably the most amazing way of learning. But at the time, I wouldn't, as a college student, I couldn't afford it.
Sure.
AFF.
Well, and of course, now you're quite an accomplished AFF instructor, so you've been teaching hundreds, if not thousands, of people to jump for quite some time now.
It's been a while. And I actually teach, as an examiner, I actually teach people how to teach.
Which is super cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I remember when I went through my AFF course with a name you might recognize, Billy Rhodes.
Oh, man. For sure.
And he was a hardcore son of a bitch, and man, I've never had a more stressful week in my entire life. So when you're teaching students, are you as fucked up as Billy was?
No, never. Never that bad.
That fucking guy, man, the mind games he played. Like, you need a whole lot of shit to stress on while you're falling towards the ground at 120 to 150 miles an hour. You need that extra level of stress. Well, so you started out with Dad. Did Dad continue to jump as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Dad and I did pretty much every jump together until we had about 200.
Wow.
So pretty much every jump was together. First World Free Fall Convention, we were jumping together. Second World Free Fall Convention, we were jumping together.
That was still when it was in Rantoul?
Quincy. I was still at Quincy.
Oh, that's right. That's right. No, Quincy. I was completely wrong.
Yeah, Quincy was the first ones, and then moved over to Rantoul, and it got a little crazier, a little bit calmer, actually, I would say.
Yeah, calmer. I mean,
Rantoul was a little calmer than Quincy.
You knew World Free Fall Convention that there was at least going to be 1 or 2 fatality reports coming out of that every year.
Every year there was at least, I think there was only 1 year that I can remember that there was no fatalities there. Usually it was at least 1 per boogie. Was it Quincy or Rantoul with the helicopter? The helicopter was Rantoul. I believe it was the first or second year of Rantoul. I actually saw that. That story to this day. Oh my God! And of course I wasn't there, but at least the way that it was told to me, kid goes out and asks the helicopter pilot, and I forget his name, if he could film. Rod Tinley.
Rod Tinley. There you go. Asks if he could film the departure of the helicopter getting ready to go drop a bunch of jumpers, and he told him no. You absolutely can't. So the kid decides, fuck it, I'm going to go ahead and sneak into this cornfield, and as the helicopter is taking off, I can film it from there because I'm not going to have this guy tell me what to do. Helicopter lifts off, takes off, and for anybody that's never been to that freefall convention, the helicopter ride was famous for being dramatically more exciting than the jump. Rod was an old Vietnam vet, wasn't he?
I'm pretty sure he was. It was his helicopter. And he used to do old Vietnam vet, and he used to do like stunts and stuff like that for Hollywood with his helicopter.
Sure. Yeah. So he was an extremely accomplished helicopter pilot, and as he lifts off, he would stay extremely low to the ground, kind of strafing the ground and giving the jumpers a wild ride. And as he takes off, he's got the rotors aimed towards the ground as he's flying forward, and this kid pops out head first out of the corn to film, and as the story is told, ends up losing his head over it.
Yeah, essentially, I had a really good friend, or I still have a really good friend. His name is Rob Cohen. He was actually on the helicopter, on that side, and it's actually his video that saved Rod Tinley's career, essentially. But we were walking over to the helipad. We were walking over to where the helicopter was. Not really a helipad. It was in the corn, or on the grass near the corn. But we were walking over there, and we actually heard it taking off, and we heard the sound.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So it was a little bit of a messed up situation, to say the least.
Well, the kid never felt it, that's for damn sure. But to have it was a Huey, yeah?
Yeah, it was a Bell 412.
Yeah, so to have the
Twin Allisons.
To have the rotor of a Bell 412 literally take your head off, he never saw what was coming.
And the rotors he had were actually beefier rotors. The tail rotor and the main were actually beefier because from what I understand, they were able to cut a 4-inch tree, or I think it's a 4-inch tree or something like that, they could take a hit up to that.
Or a human head.
Yeah, in that case. And it was about shoulder to waist, unfortunately.
Oh man! All right. Well, hey, he got some great video up to that point.
It was horrible, huh?
Fucking hell. Anyway, back to your dad.
Back to the fun stuff, right?
Yeah, you guys went to the free fall convention.
So we went to the free fall convention year after year. I mean, we got our coach ratings, or the basic instructor ratings. It was the first year of the coach rating. We were actually the dummies.
Sure, I remember that year.
For the coach ratings back around 2000, I guess, 2001.
Sure. I got grandfathered in prior to when they stopped requiring, or before they required the coach rating.
Yeah. So, we got that together. We got our static line instructor ratings together. A good way to kind of offset the cost of jumping as a college student.
Sure.
And, we were jumping pretty hard. He was actually my first passenger as a tandem instructor.
Oh, wow.
So in my course, it was a little bit more old school. I got my rating, and I did my solo. I got grandfathered in at that time because I had already done a front ride for a friend at his course a year before. So I got grandfathered. I didn't need to do the front ride. So I literally went from my solo to I could take somebody. And at that point, it didn't matter who we were taking as long as they were an experienced jumper. So literally my second time on a tandem rig, my first time taking somebody as a jumper, it was my dad.
Awesome.
Not so much.
No?
No, my dad was a big boy.
Oh.
I went to the limits right off the bat.
Well, he had big fucking stones if he let you take him on your very first ever.
And all I could think about the entire time is, if you kill him, Mom's going to kill you. If you hurt him, Mom's going to kill you.
Yeah, you're fucked.
So it was fun. I mean, we jumped together up until the time he passed, so.
Wow. Now, if I'm not mistaken, he passed jumping, yeah?
Yeah, unfortunately. So World Free Fall Convention 2003. He had a low cutaway with no time for the reserve to come out.
Oh, man.
It's still, to this day, it'll always be a mystery as to what exactly happened. Some people said they saw him spiraling under a malfunctioning main. Others said that it looked like it was possibly a line over.
On the reserve?
On the main. On the main. The reserve never got to more than line stretch. Oof. So he was jumping. I saw him the load before. He was doing some belly stuff. I was doing some free flying stuff. I was jumping with a friend at the time, just trying to work on my head down and
sure,
before tunnels came around.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. When we had to do it 60 seconds at a time.
Exactly. So yeah, I get the land and get the information, and somebody says, we can't find your dad. Somebody went in. We think it's him. We don't know.
Wow.
So waited around for about 45 minutes, so almost an hour. Could have been longer, could have been less. Time kind of stops at that point. And waited for the news that it was him, and had to make the drive back from the World Free Fall Convention to back to just outside Detroit to Mom and tell Mom what had happened. And yeah.
Rough fucking day.
Yeah, really rough, really long day, and unfortunately no no answers as to what exactly happened.
Well, that's probably the worst of it, isn't it?
Yeah. Was he knocked out on opening because he was having hard openings in the canopy? What happened, but...
Well, that's the unfortunate part, especially in skydiving, in base jumping, is that there's never any, or there's rarely ever concrete answers. This happened or that happened, but maybe this, maybe that. Because generally, at least most of the time, the person that can answer isn't here anymore, which is rough. Well, so how was that? I mean, you were pretty established in the sport at that point, but did that not make you really question?
No, I mean, I was honestly, I was still getting my start. I was only a few years into skydiving. I had just had my tandem instructor rating, like maybe 4 months at that point.
Wow.
So, I mean, I was still relatively low. I mean, I got my 1,000th jump just after that summer. Well,
so, I mean, everybody, I suppose, in the sport has a reality check from here and there, but this is in the extreme for sure. I mean, to be able to continue jumping and choose this as not just a job, but a career and a lifestyle, you're in it 100%. I mean, there's not too many people that can then lose a family member, especially a father that you were clearly that close with, and continue doing that exact same thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean,
you're a fucking skydiver for life.
That I am. I am.
I mean, there's no going back for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was difficult. It was the single most difficult thing I've ever had to deal with in my life.
Sure. Well, it has to be.
And I can't imagine what my mom was going through getting that wake up from me, and the fact that I still do this every day as a living. She's gotten a little bit better with it over the years. The more established I've gotten as a skydiver, and
of course,
I mean, here we are, almost 20 years.
Sure.
About 17,000 plus.
So now, taking all that into consideration, you've not just gone into what people would consider normal skydiving, and for non-skydivers, there's no such thing as a normal skydiver. They think we're all completely batshit. But you've taken it even that much further, not just in teaching people how to teach and teaching students, but you're pushing the limits hardcore in a number of different ways, between the canopy piloting and then some of the stunts that you've done, as well as base jumping. I mean, wow, you're going big.
I try to live big.
Well, now,
we're only on this planet one time, right?
Yeah, fair enough. But some people would say, because of that exact statement, what the fuck are you doing?
Living my life the best I can.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, both you and I have been in the sport for 23 plus years. Yeah. Both of us have seen our fair share of loss, although I've lost people close to me. I've never lost anyone as close as you, but the losses continue throughout the sport. Clearly, the longer you're in the sport, the more people you're going to know that have gone the wrong direction. Does that temper any of the things that you do?
I mean, losing my father was rough. Losing Pops, that was definitely a hit. But looking at it now, he was in that danger zone a little bit.
Sure.
Right, he was in that 500 to 1,000 range, where it usually seems to be the danger zone for most skydivers. Losing other friends, some close friends, especially recently. Losing Micah Couch was a huge hit, and I've really questioned certain things, and I've kind of stepped back my base jumping a little bit now because of it.
Sure.
I realize that certain things just aren't worth it, especially as a married man, and now I need to not just think about myself, but think about my wife a little bit as well, and
family man
a little bit here, right. And that's one of those things that I'm willing to take a back seat for, to make my wife happy.
Sure.
Make Nicole happy, and not add the extra risk to it. I mean, I'm still doing my stunts and I'm still doing crazy stuff, but yeah, I mean, I think every loss we have kind of hits us a little bit.
Oh, of course.
In a way that kind of changes our outlook and our perception of what we want to do in the sport.
Yeah, for sure. Well, for me personally, I decided to not attempt base jumping and not get into that realm of the world as soon as I knew I was going to be a dad. I decided then that was a bridge too far, so to speak. As soon as I knew I was going to be somebody's, father, I no longer felt that I should go that far. That's not necessarily the mentality of anybody, and there's no right or wrong with that. That's just how I felt.
Right.
There have been a lot of people in the sport that haven't felt that way. Some of whom we've lost over the years. Eli Thompson.
Oh man, yeah.
Had one daughter, I think, and another one on the way.
I think she was pregnant with the first. I don't remember 100%.
I thought,
maybe
and I
one
could be
second.
mistaken, but I thought he had one child and another one on the way, and he died in base jump.
Yep.
That's a rough way to go, man, when you're leaving those kind of people behind. So I commend you definitely kind of taking a step back and going, all right, there's more than just me to think about at this point. That being said, you're still doing some pretty fucking wild shit. 2017 was a big year for you.
Oh, for sure.
What happened with the canopy stuff?
2017, it was, I believe, the third year for Swoop Freestyle. The freestyle competitions for canopy piloting in Copenhagen, Denmark, and I was lucky enough and I guess skilled enough at the time to win the world championships, for the first ever world championships for Swoop Freestyle.
That's very cool. So for those that don't follow canopy piloting very much or have no clue what it is, for those that are listening, canopy freestyle is very high-performance, high-speed landings on parachutes where they not only have to not kill themselves on the landing, but they have to perform tricks. And in this particular venue, they got to try and land on a floating raft in the middle of a river?
No, it's a lake. It's one of the lakes in downtown Copenhagen for this one.
Right on the boardwalk, and there's like 100,000 people show up to this, don't they?
That year, they clocked close to 100,000 people there throughout the course of the weekend, yeah.
Did you ever think?
No, not really.
I mean, not just that you'd be involved in something like that, but that even in its beginnings for you and I, that skydiving would ever draw 100,000 people to watch you throw yourself out of a plane.
No, I mean, the closest that I thought it would come to was when they tried to get it sky surfing into the X Games back in the early 2000s, I guess it would have been, and
90s.
Anybody that's late 90s. Yeah, you are an old man, aren't you?
Yeah, well, and I was also a sky surf competitor.
Jim Slayton tried his best. I mean, Jim. If anybody that doesn't know Jim Slayton, he was one of the guys that helped progress swooping as far as it has. Him and a bunch of the guys from the PD factory team and the original Icarus team. But he was trying real hard to get freestyle and just to get swooping in general, not really freestyle, but swooping in general into the Olympics. He was pushing real hard for it, and I think we're closer now than we've ever been.
Absolutely. Well, swooping is really the only. And canopy piloting is really the only spectator-friendly sport. That was the big problem that they ran into with the X Games and sky surfing, was that people just couldn't really wrap their heads around what was going on. It looked really cool, but no one could tell the difference between one sky surfer and the next. Someone jumped out of an airplane with a board on their feet, they spun around, and the video flipped over and did this and that. Well, now, if you were in it, you could absolutely distinguish what was a good routine and what was a bad routine, but that doesn't make for great mass consumption. Whereas swooping is a lot like NASCAR. I don't need to know what's going on inside that car.
You're waiting for the crash.
Absolutely. I know it's going around in circles, and I'm waiting for somebody to hit the fucking wall. And, of course, now that they're all friends of mine, I want them to hit the wall, but I want them to do it softly. Spectacularly, but softly.
For sure, and we've had some spectacular crashes over the beginnings of the Swoop Freestyle event.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Now, for anybody listening, is there somewhere they can go to check out video of your performances?
Absolutely, they can go to my website, or they can hop on my athlete page, which is David Ludvik Junior in quotations. If they're on my athlete page, they can see all the performances and stuff like that. They can also hop on the website for Swoop Freestyle, which is the athlete page for the event page for Swoop Freestyle, which I believe is Swoop Freestyle FAI World Championships.
If they just Googled Swoop Freestyle, it'll probably come up.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Very cool. And that's become an ongoing thing now. I mean, you were the 2017 world champion.
I was the 2017 first ever freestyle world champion. Last year, I was out of it due to some shoulder surgery, as we sometimes have as skydivers. We get beat up a little bit.
Let's put a tick mark in that, and we'll come back to that.
So I missed the 2018 season, unfortunately, and they crowned a new champion. So next year I'm looking forward to coming back and trying to regain my title.
And this last year was Pablo Hernandez?
Pablo Hernandez, yep.
All right, so another friend. That's very cool. Although in skydiving, it's a relatively small family when it comes to getting to that level. So I suppose everybody knows everybody.
Especially in the swoop circuit. When you're talking about swoop competitions, I've found over my years that the swoop competitors are a little bit closer than some of the other disciplines.
Sure.
Even though it's an individual event versus a team event, it's everybody's out there. They're rooting for each other. It's very rare that you'll see somebody, down on themselves or anything else. They're usually congratulatory and picking them up. If you look at a bunch of my photos from it, you see two close friends, Nicholas Batch and Kurt Bartholomew, just hosing me down with champagne after
Sure.
they announced me as a winner. I mean, they're both great sportsmen and both great competitors. So.
Sure. Well, and as someone that swoops but will never compete, no one's ever going to want to see me swoop. At least they sure as shit won't line up for it. Swooping is ridiculously dangerous compared to a normal canopy landing. Just a straight in, I'm just going to land there type of thing, as opposed to a swoop. For those that don't understand, you're building an intense amount of speed. You're coming down from, where do you start your swoop altitude-wise?
In competition, depending upon the canopy I'm flying, I'll start on average around 2,000 feet.
So 2,000 feet, most people at 2,000 feet are
Deploying.
Yeah, they're either
As a
deploying,
D-license.
they're opening their parachutes, or they're daydreaming, and they're looking around going, oh, hey, look, that's pretty. And they're certainly not thinking about landing at that point. You're initiating a turn that builds up speeds in excess of...
Close to 100 miles an hour is what I've been clocked at.
So 100 miles an hour. You're basically reaching free fall speeds with a parachute open.
Absolutely.
So you fuck that up, you're dead.
At the very least, at the best capabilities, you're dead, and worst is you're beat up,
Sure, absolutely.
cut up, and have a really, really long road to recovery, or God forbid, the worst. And
Sure. Well, and I liken canopy swooping to riding motorcycles. It's not if you crash, it's when and how bad.
absolutely,
You've done it, yeah?
a couple times.
Okay, fair enough. You've had some injuries. I know we both have.
Yep. I've had a couple of microdiscectomies in my back. Recently had a pretty good shoulder repair done. That's put me down for a little while. Put me down for the 2018 season, unfortunately.
Oh,
For at least the competition season. I was down for all the summer, which is when we look forward to traveling to different places and competing.
sure.
But it's part of the game. We try to do it as safe as we can. We try to teach the next level of people coming up to not do it the way we did it, because
Right.
try to do it without winding up like we have, beat up, cut up, hurt, broken bones and surgeries and everything else, because any of the real competitors you see out there have all had something happen at some point.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm not even a competitor, and I've got 10 surgeries under my belt. Now, not all of them, of course, are skydive related, but a few of them are, and more injuries than I can count. I don't think I've slept through an entire night in years without tossing and turning and rolling over because my neck hurt or my shoulder hurt or this or that. And I've had 2 shoulder surgeries, so I'm right there with you. Now, the shoulder surgery, how'd that happen? What brought that about?
That was a collaboration of doing some XRW.
For those that don't know, what's XRW?
XRW is what we've been able to do now that parachutes have gotten a lot faster, now that wingsuits have gotten a lot better, is where we actually link up somebody under an open parachute flying through the air with somebody who's in free fall flying a wingsuit.
Okay, so you're making formations they consist of canopies and human beings still in free fall
Absolutely.
with no parachutes. So it's happening fast.
It's happening fast. I mean, it's moving fast. I'm flying under a 57 square foot parachute, loaded pretty significant, close to about 3.7. So the size, my weight is about 3.7 times the size of my parachute.
So it's 3.7 pounds per every square foot of cloth.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
So thinking about that, it's one of the higher wing loadings that you'll see out there. It's not something that students are going to do. Students typically fly at 1-to-1 or under.
Sure. So you're flying something that's the size of a car cover, and they're flying something the size that's a circus tent.
We laid it out, and it's about the size of a twin sheet.
That's a teeny parachute. Yeah. All right. So you're doing this XRW.
Doing this XRW. Have the famous Max Heim, good friend, shooting some video, and he's talked to the pilot of the aircraft,
right?
And told him that he wants him in a certain spot so he can get this beautiful view of the city with the XRW formation and the airplane coming into frame. And the pilot nods his head to him and decides he's going to fly it exactly where he tells him to, and lo and behold, flies straight in front of us. I flew with the XRW formation through the turbulence of the back of the airplane, and my parachute very quickly decided to stop flying and fly the opposite direction.
Oh. And now we're talking about, again, speeds that are pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty high. I mean, we're doing a good speed across the ground.
Good clip forward, yeah.
I've got the late great Micah Couch attached to my feet. He's on his back, and I'm kicked into his chest strap, and I'm looking at him, and I see his face change with this horrified look for just a split second before the parachute just disappeared.
Wait, your parachute just disappeared?
My parachute disappeared, flips me upside down, throws me around, and all I could think about is the safety check that we do when something bad happens. So I control the parachute, I get it flying straight again, and I started going through that mental check, right? Okay, what's hurting, what's not hurting? Like, clearly my shoulder was in pain. I land, do the self-body awareness thing, sitting on the ground for a second. All right, legs are good, back's good, neck's okay, left arm and shoulder's okay, right arm okay, right shoulder's hurting a little bit, what's going on? Of course, go up and do one more, because why not?
Of course.
Had the opportunity, so we did it, and got the shot we were looking for.
Did it include the plane?
It did include the plane in some parts. The plane was a little bit further away than what it was the first time.
All right.
And proceeded to land and go to the hospital to get an MRI.
Nice. I only have one problem with that story.
What's that?
In that story, you neglect to mention that the pilot mentioned to the famous Mr. Heim that if he were to be in the exact spot, it might not necessarily be good for the formation. And Mr. Heim said, no, that's where I need you.
Let's just, call out the strange thing in the room, sitting on the toilet right now, and the fucking pilot was the pilot.
Yeah, I was the pilot. I was the pilot. I did deny you the 2018 season in some way, but in my defense, I was following orders from the guy that was directing the entire scene. And I feel not the least bit responsible for your shoulder.
You should feel slightly responsible, but the majority of it does fall back on me, because I did continue to jump for another year and a half before deciding to actually go ahead and go get the surgery. So.
Yeah, fair enough. So, I don't feel bad. I take zero responsibility in that entire thing. Let me see your wine glass here.
That's what friends are for, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I remember that vividly, and I remember you landing and rubbing your shoulder, and I remember Max being very happy with the jump until it went to shit because you all flew through my wake.
And until the point that he realized that neither one of his cameras were working properly, and he never even got it on video. The only video that exists is my video of it.
Which is even worse. It makes it even worse or better, because that makes the story even that much more wow. Oh, very cool. Yeah. I mean, what are friends for but to help fuck each other up every once in a while?
So that's where the surgery came from.
Fair enough. Now, besides the swooping, you do a whole bunch of other stuff. Obviously, you do a bunch of base jumping, although you said you've backed down on that quite a lot.
I've backed down quite a bit over the past year and a half.
And I'm assuming that, you've already said that Micah played a decent part in that as well.
The loss of Micah was huge, and the fact that both myself and my now wife at the time, my fiance, were there when everything happened. It played a huge part in, as anybody that knows me and knows anything about my story and the friend circle that I keep, Micah was one of my closest.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Micah was one of those guys that was instantly your closest friend on the planet just because of who he was.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
He made you feel that way right off the bat. And then he'd skip off to his next closest friend and his next closest friend because that's how everybody assumed. It wasn't Micah Couch, it was my Micah.
Yeah.
To everybody.
Exactly.
To
Everybody
everybody.
has their own Micah Couch story for sure.
Absolutely. And, it's kind of funny because it's a recurring theme in in skydiving, base jumping, and probably any extreme sport, that the ones that we seem to have lost seem to be the ones that just had that ridiculous light about them. And I think that's probably part of what pushes them so hard, and probably part of why they end up going through what they've done, is because they've got whatever that is, whatever that X factor, that spark.
Yeah, for sure.
And he definitely had that, for sure. So you've tempered that kind of stuff as well. And let's face it, we're getting older.
We're getting older, and honestly, I realize that it's not just about me anymore.
Sure,
right?
Absolutely.
It's me and somebody else. If it was just me, I'd probably keep on doing it, most likely, but I have to look at the bigger picture. I'm not a single man anymore. I'm a happily married man, and
Sure.
I got to make sure that the wife is happy as well, because we all know, and men listen out there, this is very important for you. If you haven't been married before, if the wife's not happy, you're not happy.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. And now, she's a jumper as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how we met.
And that's a pretty interesting story, too. Because you,
For sure.
and we'll keep that one short and sweet, but you took her on her very first jump ever.
I took her on her very first jump almost 12 years ago. And then our paths went in their different directions, and she decided that she wanted to start skydiving after some tragedy in her life, and became a skydiver, and we ran into each other at a competitor's drop zone that was about 3 nautical miles away. Whole long story, won't get into that on this one, well, maybe next time. And she walks up to me, she goes, "Is your name Junior?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Junior." She's like, "You took me on my first jump." And it's very rare that you see a 6-foot-tall, beautiful blonde. So I actually did remember her. And after that, we kept in touch, and we would see each other at the drop zones, or we'd run into each other in different events and everything else. And it all came to a head a few years back, where we ran into each other in an event and just started talking and hanging out. And she was going through a divorce at the time. And lo and behold, after everything was finalized, she came and we started talking and realized that we were each other's one, and
That's cool. Well,
this past year we got married.
She's got quite the story as well. I mean, she's
Absolutely.
jumped at every 50 states, all 50 states.
Youngest person to jump all 50 states.
Which is very cool. And she's an instructor as well, and accomplished, and works with you and everything. So
Yeah.
it's as close to a normal life as a bunch of freaky skydivers can possibly have.
Yeah, absolutely. Meet back up, get engaged, get married, and keep on doing what we love to do.
Which is awesome. And which is, for those that don't know the true lifestyle of skydiving, and again, I can't speak to knowledge in regard to other extreme sports, but I can't imagine that they're that much different. When you're fully immersed in this lifestyle, it's like being almost in a cult.
I don't want to call it a cult.
Well, I don't want to call it a cult either, but it fucking is.
CrossFit's a cult.
Right, yeah, fair enough. It's a very unique lifestyle, and it seems to be, no matter what drop zone you're at, every drop zone that has a core group that is together all the time seems to fall into the same dynamic. We end up partying our ever-loving asses off, and at least for a while anyway, we seem to live as extreme a lifestyle on the ground as we do in the air.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
I mean, I worked at what was at the time the busiest drop zone in the world, and world-famous place called Cross Keys in New Jersey, of all places, that was crazy well-known for parties. But I didn't know this at the time, because the only drop zone that I had ever jumped at was in Las Vegas. And as weird as it sounds, Las Vegas doesn't have a party drop zone. And that's what you would think. It would be weird there, but it wasn't. And I took this job in Cross Keys because I was looking for a responsible alternative to the crazy life I had been leading. Cut to a month and a half into the job, and I'm sitting in the pea gravel pit on the landing area, high as a kite on LSD, thinking this was the responsible choice. Right? And it was 2.5 years of that. I mean, to the point where the group of friends and coworkers that I worked with we were together so much, jumping and living and partying, that we all had a Cross Keys accent. Because we had people from England, from London, from all over the United States, from Ireland, from literally everywhere. And after 2.5 years of spending 7 days a week, 10 to 12 to 15 hours a day together, you start sounding like each other. And I would go back to California for winter vacation, and people would ask me where I was from. What do you? I'm from fucking San Francisco. What do you mean, where am I from?
You see that. You see that at a lot of drop zones you go to. The same thing where we are right now. You have the mix of the Kiwis and the Aussies and everything else, and you start using terminologies. Like, I've never used the word sunnies a day in my life until I came here.
Right.
It was always sunglasses or
Right.
shades. Right? And here it's sunnies, and I find myself going back home and talking about, where are my sunnies at? Like, where did I put my sunnies? And somebody's like, sunnies?
And nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like my son. Okay, never mind.
It is kind of it's a worldwide community, though.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
They talk about 6 degrees of separation. Skydiving is about 1 or 2.
If that. Well, and especially in the party scene. What was the old joke in Cross Keys? It wasn't your girl or boyfriend. It was your turn.
Yeah, you don't lose your girlfriend. You just lose your turn.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the same with guys as well. Especially in Cross Keys back in my day, it was the most incestuous drop zone I'd ever been at. I mean, everybody was sleeping with everybody.
I think that was every drop zone back in the day.
Right. Well, and I guess still to this degree, although lately, and maybe it's just because of my age, but I seem to end up in operations that are more couple-oriented and a little bit more relaxed.
Well, you're also traveling. You're not working in the States as much. I think the States may be still like that, but being overseas is a little bit more of a couple-orientated because you're picking up your life, you're moving to a different country, and you find yourself in that more of a couple atmosphere. People
Sure.
don't usually go rogue on their own going to these places. They wind up going there and they wind up either finding somebody from their home country or finding somebody that they want to be with for a while, and it's more of a family kind of atmosphere than it is more of a party atmosphere like it is back home.
Sure. Well, I guess people are looking for something to hang on to while they're going through all these crazy times abroad, and I must admit that the States it's a much easier place to say, fuck it, I'm going to toss everything in a van and go travel from drop zone to drop zone. I mean, you can travel from New York to California, and you don't have to show your passport. You don't have to do any of the stuff that we have to do to travel abroad.
And you can still keep your friends outside of skydiving.
Yeah, fair enough.
You see that a lot more when you're abroad. Your friends are all the skydivers you're jumping with every day.
Yep. It becomes an all-encompassing life for sure. Even when you've lived abroad for some time. I mean, neither you and I have lived in the United States for a while.
Almost 7 years, 6.5 years.
Yeah, it's the same with me. Yeah, I'm just coming up on, I think it's been 8 years that I've been off mainland, although a couple of years we're working for an airline in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So still the U.S., but not the U.S.
Oh, yeah, it must have been a tough life in the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, it is when you're broke all the time. Yeah, who knew I'd have to go back to skydiving to make any money? All right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, nobody would have ever thought. Well, so you've been doing this for a long time. You've been super active. You've competed. You've taught a bunch of people. You've jumped off of all kinds of crazy stuff. You've lost people. You've gained friends. You gained a wife out of it.
Absolutely.
What are the best things and what are the worst things? Any huge positives and any huge negatives? Any regrets?
No, I kind of want to live my life to where I don't find myself on my deathbed with any regrets. I think that's kind of why I do what I do. It's the fun that I'm having, and it's the lifestyle that I've chosen. Is I don't want to have any regrets.
Sure.
Regrets that I have, I don't really think I have any, except for kind of the obvious ones. I mean, I would say that as somebody who's lost a father and lost somebody who I was so close with, my father wasn't just my dad; he was my best friend.
Sure.
I think my biggest regret is the fact that I didn't get more of his knowledge before he passed, because he was a wealth of information. Like he did everything. He built his own car at 17 and realized it was too big to get out of the backyard, so he had to take it apart and rebuild it in the front yard.
Awesome.
So I mean, everything from simple stuff like that to life lessons that we take for granted that our parents teach us. I think that's probably my only regret, is not having quite the head on my shoulders at that time to realize what I could get from him.
Sure, but I'll tell you what, it sounds to me like with the stories that you've told about him that he would have had the same mentality about life that you do.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
What's the one saying? It's life's journey is not to arrive at the grave safely in a well-preserved body, but rather to skid in sideways, totally worn out, shouting, "Holy fucking shit, what a ride!"
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I believe in that 100%. So I don't have any regrets in life, and I'm going to continue to live my life to where I don't.
Awesome.
Now I just have a amazing partner in crime that wants to do all those things with me. So when am I going to go home? I don't know. I think home is wherever where Nicole and myself are at the time, and
sure,
wherever we find ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, you and I are both the same. I think in that I will always be an American. I was born and raised in the States, and I identify as an American. But my horizons have been dramatically broadened via travel.
For sure.
I think that the best thing that I ever did was get a passport. The best thing I ever did was take that first job outside the United States, which, funny enough, was for jumping. You know, the first time I ever left the United States for anything other than hopping across the border in Tijuana to go get fucked up or going to Canada was to hop on a plane and go all the way to Fiji to take a job skydiving with a guy I had, never met, a drop zone that I had never seen. All because my buddy from Australia that I jumped with in San Francisco said it was a good place to go in the winter.
Yep.
How fucking cool is that?
Did the same thing in Mexico. That's how I got my start traveling. I had never traveled out anything other than Canada to go skiing before I got my first gig, working a winter in Mexico because the weather was better down there than it was in Michigan.
Isn't that the truth?
And then, the opportunity to go out to Dubai came from a close friend, Noah Bonson, who happened to call me and realized I was going through stuff in my life, and he said, "Hey man, this is an amazing opportunity to come out here."
Sure.
And I went out to Dubai.
Nice.
And it was, 6.5 years out there. It is what it is.
Well, and you've traveled everywhere. I mean, you've done the Middle East. You've done all over Europe now. I mean, You did Copenhagen for the big competition. You've gone to Norway. Have you done Sweden as well?
I've been through Sweden. Sweden will be this year. Sweden and Finland we're planning on. We've done Copenhagen and Norway for the stuff with One Call during Extreme Week, and I mean that's been amazing, an amazing ride, an amazing journey working with those guys. They're professionals and amazing to jump with.
Sure.
Beautiful, probably the most beautiful scenery I've ever seen skydiving is in Norway.
Sure.
So guys, if you haven't been out there yet, check it out. Skydive Voss, they're awesome.
What about Italy for base jumping and stuff? There's a lot of amazing stuff out there.
Base jumping in Italy and Switzerland and all over Europe. They've got some beautifully hidden gems in Austria and all around. I've had the luck of doing what I love to do, and the fact that I've been able to travel the world doing it.
Absolutely. Well, and doing it with some over-the-top spectacular people as well.
Absolutely.
What do you think skydiving and I'm sure other extreme sports as well, but why do you think they draw such personalities? I mean, you can't even really explain.
I couldn't explain why the personalities are what they are. We're all A-type personalities in a sense.
Sure. But we've got some really magnetic people in this sport. Micah being one, Noah being another one. Noah, for instance, if you sit and talk to him, is probably one of the most relaxed, reserved, quiet people you've ever spoken to. He doesn't seem to get worked up. He doesn't get excited. But he does these things that are just beyond belief.
Yeah, and I've known Noah since he's been a baby skydiver. We were babies together. We were learning together. We've been friends for almost probably 13, 14 years at this point. Probably about 14 years. And just super chill, down to earth, approachable.
Sure.
And that's what I think we all try to be. Is I don't think any of us try to ever have an ego. We all try to be approachable, especially for newer jumpers and for people outside the sport. We're a liaison to what we do.
Sure.
Even though most of the time when people ask me what I do, I tell them I'm an instructor.
Sure.
I stay away from the skydiving side of things, because as soon as you say, what kind of instructor? Oh, I teach skydiving.
Yeah.
Then it's like, why do you do that? What are you doing? Oh, where can I do this? What's going on? And it's like 1,000 questions blowing up. So we're pretty low key outside of it, but
Noah actually, I did an interview for him or with him for Blue Skies magazine a while back, and he called me a name dropper, which at first I wanted to be insulted by it, but then I had to kind of take a step back and go, oh wait, I am, and then I specifically because at the end of the day, the coolest thing about me are my friends. My friends do some fucking cool shit. So absolutely I'm a name dropper when it comes to people like you and people like Noah and Julian and all these amazing athletes that do stuff that even to me, who a normal non-jumper, non-extreme lifestyle person thinks is insane, these people are 10 levels above me. So I'm ridiculously proud of the friendships that I have with people that do shit that's just wow. Amazing. So I stopped being insulted by that comment very quickly, although it was pretty damn funny at the time. So you're a name dropper. Oh, well, shit, I'm going to drop your name here in a bit. I'm writing a fucking article.
Well, I mean, we're all friends and we're all in the same sport together. And, I mean, when you're talking to one another, yeah, I mean, we can be name droppers to a certain point because most likely the person we're talking to knows the person we're talking about.
Sure.
So we're just sharing stories, kind of like we are right now. We're sharing stories about everything, and I mean, if any of those people are offended by it, fuck them.
Oh, yeah, no, believe me, I stopped giving a flying fuck whether people were offended by what I had to say a very long time ago. But then again, after 9 years of writing for the magazine, if I was worried about what people thought, oh, geez, I wouldn't be able to write half of the shit that I did.
So I'm so surprised they print half of that stuff.
I can't believe it either. Shout out to Laura for sure. Oh, and her poor mother that has to proofread all the shit that I read. And now be linked to this as well. Well, you've kind of run the entire gambit. You started out as a student skydiver, and you had to beat yourself up to just even get the jumps in. Tragedy almost right off the bat that you had to overcome. You ended up being a mentor and an instructor to people, and still pushing all the limits. What's next?
I don't know. We'll see if we can maybe break our own personal records. I don't know. We'll see what's next.
Speaking of, actually, before I forget about it, you did just break a record not that long ago, did you not?
Yeah, about a month and a half ago. I broke the Guinness World Records for the world's largest flag flown while skydiving.
And we're not talking about, most people, as soon as they think flag, they think the one that's run up over the school. They think the one that's run up over the bank. They even think the big one that's run up over the Capitol. How big was this fucking flag?
This flag was 4,885.65 square meters.
Which is, for an American that doesn't speak meter.
For an American, it's about the same size as an American football field. Maybe a little bit bigger.
Attached to you while flying a parachute.
Yep.
That must have been an interesting ride.
It was definitely an interesting ride.
Now, you not only jumped it, but you had to basically help design and perfect the system that allowed a flag of that size be deployed.
Yeah, absolutely. Myself and a really good rigger who did the majority of the work. His name is Evgeny, and I would pronounce your name Evgeny, but I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it. I call him the crazy Russian rigger.
Fair enough.
He's amazing. He's been in the sport forever, and he put about close to 100 plus hours on the ground into helping design and build the system that I jumped.
Wow.
And it was a lot of trial and practice. We finally got it right on the fourth jump, but we had with the actual flag, but we had a bunch of trial jumps before that with just different systems in place to try to perfect what we needed to do in order to get this thing out safely and get me down safely.
Sure. Well, I'm sure there were a couple of tense moments for you.
There were. Like I said, it took to jump number 4. So jump number 1, there were some issues. Jump number 2, jump number 3. Everything from the entire 200 kg bundle coming off of me.
200 kg, so let's
about
talk
195, so 400 pounds.
So 400 pounds strapped to your chest.
Yep.
Kind of like if you were taking a massive tandem student.
Like 2.
Yeah. All right. So you've got 2 human beings strapped to the front of you, and you've got to control the whole thing as you're falling out of a helicopter. You did it?
Yeah, we did it a helicopter for safety as opposed to a jump airplane, because jump airplane's a little bit faster speeds. We wanted it a little bit slower for make things a little bit easier for the exit.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
And a team of people helping.
Oh, for sure. And by number 4, you got it.
Number 4, we nailed it. made it work, and it was the last jump that was going to be capable with Guinness.
Nice.
Because Guinness, gets paid to do what they do, and every jump we did was a cost to us, and to get the flag done, and the sponsors involved, and it was awesome.
For sure. Well, no doubt about that. I mean, it had to have been quite the experience. But if you had to think back over all of your accomplishments in skydiving and all the different crazy things you've done, what stands out? Like, what one or two things more than anything else just are the epitome of what you've done in the sport?
The epitome of what I've done in the sport. Wow. I would say definitely the jumping the world's largest flag. I mean, it's a Guinness World Record. That was pretty amazing, being the first ever swoop freestyle world champion. That was definitely the top two as far as achievements of what I've done in the sport. But I would say, honestly, the one of the two most memorable and the two things that will always take top priority is me being able to take my mom on a tandem and my dad docking on it.
Awesome.
That's probably
the whole family at free fall.
Yep, that's one, and the other one that's right equal with it is proposing to Nicole, with her taking me for a tandem at the same drop zone I took her for a tandem 9 years later to the day.
That's cool. Now, for those that don't know Junior...
She said yes.
Thank God. For those that don't know Junior or don't know Nicole she's 6 foot tall?
Yep.
And you're what, 4'2"?
Hey, 5'7" and a half.
5'7" and a half. So it is literally Gandalf and Frodo, is what I like to call them. Or what did she want to be for Halloween?
Jack and the Beanstalk?
Jack and the Beanstalk would be another good one.
David and Goliath.
It
goes on and on.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And they all work perfectly. Luckily, both of you guys have a good sense of humor about it. Well, luckily you have a good sense of humor about it because you're the midget.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Fair enough.
We're all the same size when we lay down, Dean. Remember that.
Fair enough. Well, the funny thing is I can picture that jump even though I wasn't there, because she's a normal-sized instructor and you're a normal-sized, very small student.
Exactly.
Perfect. There's no way you could be a problem for her. Heaviside was going to fall down.
For sure.
Awesome. All right, as we wrap up, anything that do you think, say that we've got people listening that have never jumped out of an airplane, never decided to do anything extreme, and they just picked this podcast because they want to hear a couple of nuts talk about doing stupid shit. What do you want them to know?
Get out of your house, go do some stupid shit, because it's not what you do on the normal day-to-day that defines you. It's what you do outside of it. It's the things that you have fun doing, and the things that make you push the limits, and the things that you're going to talk about with your friends and think about on your deathbed and wonder, why didn't I ever do this? Go out and do it. Try it.
Yeah.
It's something, skydiving especially, is something that is so safe at this point in its history, that go try it, give it a shot, see, maybe it's going to be the one thing that changed your life completely around, or maybe you go and you do it and you decide, it's not for me, but go and try it.
You at least gave it a shot, and I'm sure you're the same as me. I've taken, I think, 8,000 people now on tandems, and although I've had quite a few people that say they'll never do it again, I've never had one that regretted doing it once.
No, everybody's always been glad. I've got probably 7,000 plus tandems, and I would say every single person that I've ever taken has always been, that's the greatest thing I've ever done. Or I ask them, hey, it was awesome. What'd you think? Man, that was amazing, but I don't ever want to do it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at least they've done it.
Now, we probably should have started out with your stats, but we'll go ahead and finish off with that. So you started jumping in what year?
1999.
So you started jumping in 99. You've got how many jumps total?
A little over 17,000.
17,000 times out of an airplane. And that's coming from, I've got 11,000 jumps, but 17,000, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
How many base jumps?
A couple hundred.
Which is a substantial amount of base jumps when you consider most people can't bring themselves to, step off a high ladder, let alone do base jumps.
For sure.
What else? What other extreme sports? Anything?
Extreme sports? No, I used to drag race motorcycles back in the day. I was a collegiate wrestler.
Nice.
Little fact that nobody knows.
I've watched you surf badly.
I surf really bad. I'm horrible at yoga. You can ask my wife. She laughs at me every time I get in the yoga studio with her.
Awesome.
But yeah, I'll try anything. I'm a scuba diver, certified scuba diver, rescue diver. So I just love experiencing life.
Nice. No, you and me both. So that's probably the takeaway from interview number 1 is get the fuck off the couch, get out and try something, and you just never know what you might find.
Go experience your life.
It's what needs to be done, and I think that's the one thing that's lacking nowadays is most people don't bother to just go live.
Yep. Go live. Don't have any regrets, because if you're on your deathbed, what are you going to think about?
No
Things
shit.
that you should have done? Or are you going to look back and think about, man, I did some really cool shit out there during my life?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I completely agree. All right, well, you can go on to MrGoogle.com and find out all about Junior. You want to type in that's the swoop freestyle?
Swoop Freestyle. You'll find some stuff about me. David Ludvik with parentheses Junior, because Junior is just a nickname that I got from my dad.
And spell the last name.
L-U-D as in David, V as in Victor, I-K. L-U-D-V-I-K.
Jesus Christ, you are in aviation.
I am in aviation.
Yeah. Fucking hell. All right, fair enough.
Sure went through.
So we'll check you out, see your swoop freestyle stuff. You can probably Google world's largest flag, a parachute jump at some point in the near future. I don't think it's out yet, but it's coming.
Nope, the documentary's coming here pretty soon. They're working hard on it, so
absolutely going to want to check that out.
see.
And in the meantime, get off the couch, get out and jump out of an airplane. This is The Fucking Pilot with Junior on podcast number 1.
Podcast number 1.
We'll call that one in the can.
Literally, you're on the can.
All right, perfect. All right, my man. See ya.
Later, buddy.